Hi everyone and welcome to Our Debt-Free Lifestyle. If you're new here, my name is Mel and we are a Christian family of 4, soon to be 5, living in Melbourne, Australia on a single income. On this channel we talk about how our family makes life work. Everything from frugal living, parenting, household organization and everything in between.
When I decided to record this vlog, I wanted it to be a confessional to vent all my frustrations and struggles that I have being a stay-at-home full-time mum. But every time I tried to record it, I found I was going in a different direction. So I decided instead that I wanted to share with you all about mental health as a stay-at-home mum. Because what you're seeing here is the true state of my house at 4 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon, when I don't have energy, capacity, or motivation to do anything. And truthfully, I am completely exhausted. What you're seeing is the washing piled up, all the rooms are a mess, I've started cooking dinner and there's everything everywhere. Some things that should have just been water off a duck's back somehow stuck to me and it resulted in me abandoning myself and the house. It's easy to tell when I'm having a tough mental, physical or emotional week because my house, the admin, my hobbies, everything starts to slip. And in this case, my house is a visual representation of how my mind has been this week, which hasn't been great. I know I've spoken earlier vlogs about being house proud, and don't get me wrong, this isn't to contradict anything I've shared in that vlog, but what you're seeing is shutdown mode and everything's too hard and I'm in survival. So let's talk mental health, because as a stay-at-home mum, it's very important. I see myself as the gatekeeper of the home, which is something I hold in high regard, but if my mental health isn't there, it could mean anything could make its way into our home and influence it. Poor mental health not only influences our physical environment, but it can also negatively affect the emotional state of the house. I know JR wouldn't like to come home to a bumbling mess every day after a hard day's work, and I don't want to teach my children negative patterns or to cop any projection from me because I can't manage my nervous system and mental health. So let's start with how I got here. Well, there have been a number of things. The first being lack of sleep. It has a huge impact. When I don't get 8 to 9 hours solid sleep, things will start to slip. Because being tired stunts my ability to process things properly, but it also means I don't have enough energy to do something like the dishes and laundry, so I compromise. But the pile doesn't stop, it just continues to grow. Number 2 is not taking time. I constantly find myself pouring out of an empty cup, which only leads to depletion. I begin to resent people and things, and I don't have anything to begin with, so nothing is being refilled, and I begin every day in deficit. For me, that is being in a constant state of irritability. Number 3 is overstimulation. Too much noise, too much clutter, or even big emotion further depletes the reserves. At this stage, I would say my nervous system is fried. I'm snapping and reaching for anything to get a quick hit of dopamine to balance out the scales. Escaping through screen time is often my weapon of choice, but that is just mindless time being spent versus intentionally investing back into myself. If I already have reached my limit, then believing lies is the last one, and it's the easiest to accept. Growing up, rest was never a priority. I came from a single parent household with 5 kids and I was the oldest. Oftentimes I had to keep pressing on for the greater good of my family, but also help my mum with parenting my siblings. Productivity became the measure of my worth, so seeing my house in this state just tells me I haven't been productive and that my worth is nothing. I thank God that that's not the truth, but when you're working on survival mode, the lies are easier to believe. Now, I guess let's talk about how one can get out of it. 1, having a village is important. A few women that you can reach out to that can speak into your life or take the kids for a couple of hours, even just come over and be in your space for a bit. That all helps. I personally only trust my mum and sister with the care of my kids just because of how challenging they can be, but even they have their own lives and responsibilities of their own. I do have some good godly friends who I can do play dates with, where the kids are entertained and we can talk about God and breathe life and perspective into situations, which is always good. Number 2 is small wins. For me, I need to write everything down of what needs to be done. Then I will cherry pick the small wins to get momentum, so it will give me enough motivation to tackle the big items. It's really good seeing that to-do list being crossed off as well, but that comes back to feeling like productivity is part of my worth. Number 3, must do versus like to do. That has been a game changer. Every day I'll write what is non-negotiable and must be done today, and then what I'd like to do if I have time. So things under the must-do list could be, I have to pick up my son from school. That's a must. But something I'd like to do is mop the whole house. If I can't do it and I don't get around to it, I'm not kicking myself or talking negatively. Lastly, a new concept for me is worry time. I'm not going to hide that at times I have had to seek out help from medical professionals like counselors or psychologists. Worry and anxiety can be mentally crippling for me at times. I freeze and cannot function well, and I think that's because there's been a lot of stuff that's happened in my life, but I set aside a specific time each day where I can give time to think about every worst case scenario or give all my energy to the thing that I'm worried about, and then once that period stops, I pause and get back to life and wait for the next appointment. For me, this is my journaling time where I write down everything, what my thought patterns were like, the lies I believed, and what the actual truth is to my concerns and worries. And this has really helped me, because the truth is being a stay-at-home mum can be isolating, it can be draining, and it can be hard, but it also can be very rewarding, worthwhile, and life-giving. Both can exist at the same time, and having the right mindset by looking after your mental health will determine which side you land on. So if you can relate to what I've shared, I just want to encourage you. It's not selfish to rest. Your worth is not determined by the state of your house, how your kids behave, whether or not you're productive. For me, I find my worth in Jesus and what he says about me. But for you, it's not selfish to take a day off from work, take the annual day, and you think you should be doing more with the kids. Resting for yourself is actually going to be better for the kids long run. You're not a failure if you ask for help from anyone. It actually means that you're brave. Don't suffer in silence or gaslight yourself into thinking that suffering is anything other than suffering, because you don't deserve it. You deserve to live a good, healthy, well-rounded life. It's okay to have a tough time. This isn't what you are normally like, and that's okay. But for today, this is what is needed. Today, you need to decompress. You need to do what you need to do in order to get yourself right. And lastly, you can be productive and present. You don't have to prioritize one over the other. Alternating it every other day might help, but you have to work out what's best for you. See, I know what you're walking through, and I understand, because at times I can feel like I'm isolated, and I can feel like, after 20 times of teaching the same lesson or teaching the same thing, it's not sticking, or even just feeling like a failure as a mum or a wife. I understand, and so I'm just sharing with you and just trying to encourage you that just look after yourself, mama, because no one else can look after you as well as you know how to look after you. Choose your mental health. Some days are tough, but it's not every day. And today, at some point, the day will end and you'll get a new day, a new chance, a new opportunity to have joy and to smash it out. So don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing a great job. I commend you, and I just want to encourage you that keep up the good work. You can do it. As always, fam, I appreciate those that watch and support our videos. If you could like, share, and subscribe, we'd be eternally grateful. But otherwise, leave a comment below. I will get back to you. I'm happy to even send an email to you just to give you words of encouragement. Until the next vlog, hey Kone, and see you next time.